beneath the burning sky of Arabia, where silence holds the desert like a sacred prayer, a storm begins to stir within the heart of a prince. Not a storm of wind alone, but of fire, fury, and broken love. The dunes rise like ancient guardians, whispering tales of warriors and poets before him, yet tonight their golden backs tremble. For Fazza walks among them, his heart ablaze. He is the falcon of the Emirates, a rider of horses swift as the wind, a poet whose verses melt the coldest night, but betrayal has carved a wound inside him. The desert knows his grief. The moon bends low to listen, and the stars flicker like trembling lamps in the storm. The desert wind rises with his breath, carrying the taste of sorrow across the endless dunes. The falcons above cry in circles, as though warning the sky that Fazza's wrath has awakened. Once his heart was a fountain of love. Soft verses flowed like rivers in the shade of palm trees. He wrote of tenderness, of longing, of stars. He sang of eyes that shone brighter than pearls. But love, fragile as desert glass, shattered beneath the weight of betrayal. Now every grain of sand feels his rage. Every dune bends as if in reverence to his storm. He walks alone, yet not alone, for the spirits of his ancestors ride beside him. Their voices echo in the thunder above. Rise, O son of the desert, and let your fury burn. The camels kneel in silence. The horses paw the earth, sensing their master's anguish. The desert fox hides in its burrow. Even the scorpions retreat from his shadow. The sky turns crimson like spilled fire, and the moon hides her face behind veils of cloud. For Fazza's fury is not of man alone. It is the wrath of the desert itself. The horizon quakes beneath his steps, each footprint etched in the golden sands like fire. The desert remembers every whisper of his sorrow and answers back with winds that howl his name. Once he spoke to the stars as if to friends, confiding dreams of love and loyalty. Now he speaks in silence with burning eyes, and the heavens tremble at his unspoken pain. The palm trees sway as though in mourning, their fronds weeping under the heavy sky. Even the falcon, once fearless in its flight, flutters uneasily, sensing a storm greater than itself. Fazza raises his hand, clenched with fury. The desert stills, as if waiting for command. For he is no ordinary man, but the desert's son, the poet-warrior whose heart can ignite the night. He remembers the smile that betrayed him, the soft voice that now feels like poison. And every verse he once wrote for love turns into flames of vengeance on his tongue. The camels wail in sorrowful tones. The horses neigh like trumpets of war. The desert fox watches from afar, and the stars hide in fear behind veils of storm clouds. O golden sands, do you feel the rage? O dunes, do you bow before his wrath? For Fazza's heart is no longer a garden of roses, but a kingdom of fire, fury, and storm. The storm breaks with a roar across the dunes. Lightning splits the horizon like a sword of fire. The desert, once silent in its endless patience, now shakes beneath the fury of a prince betrayed. Every grain of sand becomes a soldier at his side, marching in waves across the trembling land. The winds carry his anger like a battle cry, echoing through valleys, ridges, and distant oases. The moon tries to break through the storm, but Fazza's wrath shrouds her in veils of smoke. The stars scatter like frightened birds in the night, while the falcons circle, wings slicing the thunder. O betrayal, sharp dagger in the heart. O false love, crueler than the desert's sun. You turn the rose into ash in his hand, and the melody of his verses into cries of war. His stallion paws at the earth impatiently, its mane wild with the desert's fire. Together they rise, man and beast, embodiment of rage, a living tempest. The dunes bow like courtiers before a furious king. The palms sway like servants in trembling fear. Even the silence of the ancient desert breaks under the voice of his anger's command. Yet within his fury lies a poet's soul. Every tear of rage turns into verse. Every cry of betrayal becomes a flame, and his words carve thunder across the night. The desert does not just tremble, it listens. For Fazza's wrath is not mere anger. It is prophecy, it is storm, it is fire. It is the roar of a king whose heart was torn. The desert holds its breath as he rides. Each hoofbeat a drum of war against the earth. The sky, heavy with clouds of fire, answers his fury with thunder that shakes the dunes. His eyes burn brighter than desert flames. Twin torches of sorrow and wrath combined. Every glance strikes like lightning across the sands. Every silence heavier than the weight of stone. He remembers the night of betrayal, when love turned to dust in his hand, when whispers became daggers in the dark, and promises dissolved like mist before the sun. "O faithless heart," he cries to the desert, "your beauty was a mirage, a cruel trick of light. You left me with wounds deeper than valleys, yet I rise a storm stronger than before." The falcon shrieks above his head, a cry that joins his spirit to the sky. The stallion leaps across the trembling dunes, as though carrying the storm itself upon its back.